Welcome, guys, to the Brand Identity Design Business Podcast. My name is Jason. I'm your host for today's show. And today we're going to be having a very, very exciting episode about Microsoft Office 365 with Sharon Gordon. So, Sharon, I am very glad. Thank you so much, Sharon, for accepting my invitation to be a guest on my show. Shout out to Mildred, who actually recommended or who did the introduction with you. She is freaking awesome. So today's episode is mastering about Microsoft Office 365. She's a renowned expert in Office 365. We are deep diving into the world of Microsoft powerful productivity suite. Sharon will share her extensive knowledge, practical insights on how to make the most out of Office 365 in day to day operations. Now, whether you are an Office 365 beginner looking to get started or an experienced user seeking to enhance your skills, this episode will be packed with a lot of practical advice, real world examples, and expert guidance that will empower you to become a true master of Microsoft Office 365. When I say you become fully a master, what I mean to say is that you'll hear the episode, you'll take advantage of the episode by reaching out to Sharon, taking her much more professional help. In the process, you'll master the whole thing. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you don't know who Sharon is, like I said, she's a renowned Office 365 expert, a digital change advocate with over 40 plus years of experience in education and technology. Sharon is also certified COLF. I had no idea what this meant. It's Certified Online Learning Facilitator. And she's also certified and TAP is Training Accreditation Program, and MOS, which is Microsoft Office Specialist. She has helped individuals and organizations to optimize Microsoft Office 365 users through engaging training and tailored resources. I wanted to give a shout out to Sharon. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast, and I'm so excited to interview you and learn about Microsoft Office 365. Welcome. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you. Wow, I'm honored, Jason. What an introduction. Thank you for that, and
I'm
thank you
glad you
for
liked it.
everyone.
It was spontaneous. I did not practice. It was spontaneous. I was just reading stuff.
Brilliant. Thank you. No, I'm
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome, awesome.
I'm
I
honored
see.
to
I
be
see my
here.
good friend Felicia who has joined. Thank you so much, Felicia. Long time we have actually spoken. So nice to see you. All right, so let's actually begin. I know people are here for the juicy side of this conversation. So now we kind of know, Sharon, that Office
Mhm,
365 has
mhm,
become an internal part of the modern workplace, right? Transforming the way businesses operate and collaborate. Many
mhm.
organizations, I assume, are realizing the immense potential it offers, streamlining day to day operations, boosting productivity. I would like to personally know your thoughts. What are some key benefits these organizations gain from mastering Microsoft Office 365 into their day to day operation?
Um, the main thing that brings to mind, comes to my mind, is the collaboration you can have with your colleagues. So, you're in the same organization, you want to look at documents, you want to, work on documents together, you want to read the same similar emails, etc., etc., and just be on top of your day-to-day work. So I think collaboration and the easy collaboration with colleagues. So that's things like, um, if you've got a document, whether it's Excel spreadsheet or a Word document or something that you've been working on, and you want someone to have a look at it and comment. If you've got it in Office 365, you can, anyone who needs to and wants to, can edit the document at the same time. Now, I must admit, when I first experienced that, it was really strange seeing someone else in the same document as me, and I could see their little picture at the top right hand side, and then a little coloured button would come up when they were editing it, and I thought, well, I've just put that in. Why are they taking it out? Um, but I what I got to understand was that it made life so much easier because we didn't have, thousands of copies, or maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but we didn't have, like, 10, 15 copies of the same document, and nobody knew where we were. We didn't know, who'd done what, who'd made what edits, and why they'd made them, why they'd removed ours. So it's nice that we're able to all get into the document at the same time if we can get ourselves out of our calendars and at the same meeting at the same time, to be able to edit the document at the same time and agree those changes and make those changes together, rather than having to wait for someone to make a change and then wait for them to come back to you with their own changes or something like that. So I think being able to collaborate with colleagues is a good thing, and having access to the all the things that you need as a team. You need to work on as a team. If someone does something, creates a document and they're not there, someone else can pick it up and work on it, or and things like that. But I think the big word for me is collaboration with your colleagues. Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what you're trying to say, like traditionally I've been using Word, like I would open up something, write, document something, save it, and I'll forward it to my clients. So let's say I'm forwarding it to you. You go through it and you would suggest, like, this is not right, let's fix this, can you do this? You send that same document to me. I go ahead, change it, I send it back to you. So there was a lot of exchange happening, and during the process maybe data can get lost, maybe typos can happen, things can become messy, too many email threads happening at the same time, you don't know which one is the final document. So what you're trying to say is that if you use the Microsoft Office suite completely, and if you have something which has like a cloud-based connective, is that the right term? I don't know. That would help you to
Yeah.
work on the document real time, and you would not have to do that
Yeah.
exchange thing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So OneDrive is an application that it's up there in the cloud. I say up there in the cloud. I don't do technical speak, so you're going to have to walk with me on this one. I speak in very laywoman's terms, because I don't think anything needs to be labeled in a complicated way for people to understand. And that's one of the things that when I became a trainer, I wanted to speak in plain English, in an easy language that people could understand. And you don't have to label everything with a technical term, because not everybody gets it. And I'm still trying to get my head around some technical terms as well. So I wouldn't inflict that on other people. So OneDrive is a way that you can upload your documents to the cloud, and you can share whatever you have in there with other people, which means that there's only ever one document that you're working on. With emails and that, what I've found is you'll email, as you were saying, Jaison, documents get emailed back and forth. Somebody makes another copy of it. They can't remember where they saved it. Or people do the classic. They open it up from the email and they don't save it. They go ahead and start editing it. And an hour or so later, they close it and attach it to an email, which I think is their edited document. But unfortunately, because they haven't saved it from the email, it hasn't saved any of the changes. So all of that work for an hour has just gone poof, which is not a good thing. So always, one of my bits of advice is always save your document out of your email first to a location that you can find it, and then go ahead and edit it. So being able to, I went off on a tangent, didn't I? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was in my own world. Sorry, babes. Just telling you off there. Remind
That's
me,
okay.
Jaison.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I'm just wondering. Okay, I'm just wondering. Okay, I'm not doing a comparison. I still use a lot of Microsoft-based applications for my day-to-day work, like Excel being one of them. I heavily use Excel for my projects, dealing with my clients. Okay, so I get what you're trying to say. My question is, Okay, now Google also offers a lot of applications, right? Free ones.
I was going to say there is I have found recently, and I've been investigating this with Google. Sorry to jump in there, Jason, but I have found that Google have got quite a nice suite of comparable applications that are online that is available for people to use. And no, it isn't Microsoft. However, it's serving a purpose, and it's quite easy. What I've noticed, it's easy to manage and navigate. So yeah, again, it's an online um, tool that you can use, and yeah, it's readily available to anyone who wants to use it.
Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate you bringing that point. My
Mm,
question would be, Sharon, like, why would somebody would transition from something which is offered by Google? It's kind of the same. I would not say that
mm,
it has all the features jam packed like what a Word would offer or an Excel would offer. Okay, everything,
mm,
but at least it has some proportion of it. At least you can
mm-hmm.
operate on it. Why would
Yep.
somebody transition and just use Microsoft Office and OneDrive completely? What would be the point that would make a person lean to that direction? If you get my question.
Hmm. Well, I suppose Google is a Google is known for searching, on the web. Ask it a question, it'll listen into your conversation and answer you. Um, Microsoft Office is a long established um, provider of software, and they're always making great strides into improving the applications that they have and the services that they offer. And both business and personal, you can use their applications quite easily. And we're all quite, I think a lot of us are now quite comfortable with using Microsoft and used to it. So going to Google, which has slightly less, and I'm not taking it away from Google, that it has slightly less functionality, it may not fit so well. And there's about how many um, applications in the software suite for Microsoft? I think I counted 20 last time I looked, and it's going to rise because Microsoft are always, as I said, improving and adding more applications and improving the applications that they have. But I think for someone starting out, Google is a nice start. It's a good start, and it's an easy start for you to get used to that kind of collaboration that you want to be working online with someone, an editor being able to edit the same documents or work on the same documents with them or access, those specific areas. But you've got in Microsoft, you've got it's got everything. It's got your Teams. You can share documents in Teams. You can have meetings in Teams. Yes, you've got Google Meet and things like that. I think in an enterprise, in an environment where it's a large organization, being able to use Teams, which is part of the Office suite, it just makes life a little bit easier for you in sharing documents that way through
Oh.
SharePoint, etc., etc.
Mm.
It's yeah. Mm,
I think that's one of the reasons why these technology companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, they have their own suite of
mm-hmm,
doc sheets and other stuff, because they
mm-hmm,
want to keep you under that ecosystem, and they
mm-hmm,
make pretty much all applications accessible within that ecosystem so that you don't move out. So I understand what you're
mm-hmm.
trying to say
Hmm.
personally.
And that's what Microsoft are doing as well. They
Yeah,
want to they want to do whatever they can to keep you. So they're going to sweeten the pot every so often. Look what we've got. It's better than Apple. Look what we've got. It's better than Google. And this is a business. However you look at it, it's a business. And if they can retain as many people as possible, and if they've got an organization, we're not talking like just you and I, single individuals. We've also got large organizations who are using it.
absolutely, absolutely. Let's talk about transitioning. Like,
Mm,
I'm assuming business owners who
hmm.
okay, who would like to transition to Office 365, maybe they are growing as a business. Okay,
Mm.
maybe the basic Google Docs or Google Sheets, those stuff
Hmm.
which they were using, has been saturated. Maybe they need slight more complexities. So they want to transition. Okay. I'm assuming this
Hmm.
transition process is definitely not going to be easy. Okay. What are some
Mm.
challenges have you personally observed as an expert helping organizations to transition between two different suites? Like, let's say Apple or let's say Google and transitioning to Microsoft. And how do you help them to overcome these hurdles?
The first thing is talking about what you're doing at the moment, what you're using at the moment, what your day to day looks like, and then going to the other end and talking about what is it you want to be able to do, what is it you're hoping to be able to do, why are you looking to move from the software that you've got, um, and what is it you want to, your staff, what do you want to do, what do you want your staff to be able to do, if we're looking, if we're talking about an organization, what is it exactly you want everyone to be able to do, and then look at what the applications are there and how they can fit together. Because though Microsoft have got a lot of applications in the suite, it doesn't mean you have to use them all. You just need to use the ones that are relevant to you, that will help you to do what you need to do, and then you can bring the other ones on board when you need them. Talking, because um, part of my role, as it were, and the jobs that I've done are to do with change and helping people to change, or make change and implement change, and do that as smoothly as possible. And there's always, those who are, dragged kicking and screaming to use new software because they don't want to. They've been using something for, 10, 15, maybe 20 plus years, so they don't see why they need to change it. I think the main thing, for me, is to talk to those key people who are going to be impacted by the transition to a different piece of software. Find out what your people do on a day to day. What is it that they are doing, not what you think they're doing. Find out what they're doing and what they will need to do. Because there's no point the powers that be and those at the top picking a piece of software, choosing a piece of software and saying this is what you've got to use, and then there's resistance against it. So talk to those key people, see what they're doing and what they need to do, and if they have any ideas. I think that probably works better on a slightly smaller scale. So if we're talking Microsoft, if Microsoft are going to switch to Google or something like that, which is not going to happen, that would be a lot of people to talk to. So it may not work in that circumstance. So
Bill Gates
where
would be
you
like, in your
can.
dreams, like, I am not going to
Yeah,
switch.
yeah, actually, yeah. Because if there's any Microsoft people on the call at the moment, forgive me for suggestions, but this is a cutthroat business. So these things happen, and takeovers happen all the time. So never say never, eh? Yeah. Mhm.
And I
I
appreciate you
think
sharing.
definite engagement with the people who are going to be using the software, who are going to need to be using it day to day. Engage with those people. Don't leave them out there in the cold outside, banging down the door asking you what's going on, because that change isn't going to go well. It never does.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
Mm.
makes sense. So, how many applications is there inside this Microsoft 365 roughly?
As I said, I think I've counted maybe 20, 21, the last count,
Ooh.
and I'm sure Microsoft are going to be had made an announcement they're going to be adding to it. But there's so many there. So this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of applications for people to use, but you probably wouldn't use half of them. It really
Yeah,
depends on
I
what
had no
what
idea
you
they had 20.
right.
The only thing which I remember personally is Word, Excel, PowerPoint,
PowerPoint,
Outlook.
Outlook. Yep.
That's it.
There's OneNote. No one knows OneNote. What's wrong with OneNote? What's
Hmm.
OneNote? OneNote, OneDrive,
Mm-hmm.
SharePoint Teams, bookings, forms, planner.
Wow.
There's 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 a lot of those out there. But I mean, and the reason people probably don't know about them is because they're not using them. They don't think they need to use them. They're using something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot
If
of
you
applications Okay,
Uh,
so
uh-huh.
let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, this is a
Mm,
very interesting point. So, Office 365 comes with like a treasure chest of 20 plus applications and tools, which helps you to elevate your
mm,
productivity.
mhm,
Okay, do better collaborations within organizations, stuff like that. So there is a lot of possibilities which are going on.
mhm,
Okay, according to you,
mhm,
which one do you find the
mhm.
most underutilized by organizations? Could you name some of those applications, and why do you believe it has such untapped potential?
The first one that when I found out about it, I thought, oh, this is brilliant. It's bookings, and it's a bit like Calendly, like your an online calendar, but it's all within the Microsoft suite, and it's there and integrates with your um, your Outlook calendar. Um, I liked it. It was simple to use, and this is my thing. Nothing needs to be complicated, because that will just means that nobody or less people will want to use it, or they'll just mess it up when they do use it. So if you want to keep it simple, um, let's utilize the applications you've got in your armor, in your toolkit, as it were. Bookings is in there, and you can use that, and that's quite adequate for you to make bookings or people to make bookings of you, and it goes straight into your Outlook calendar, and it's all good to go. Forms, um, uh, not sure many people use that. You can, it's like a SurveyMonkey and those other ones out there. Again, it's adequate for what you need to do, but it's in there, and it's within the suite. So why go outside of Microsoft if that is there for you? The thing is, you're paying for this package. Yeah, you're paying for these applications. You've bought what you bought out of it, and so why not use it and use as many as you can before you go off and buy something else that is not in the suite and is going to cost you, more money.
There's a great point
Mm,
which you made. So, bookings and forms being one of those underutilized applications. So, let's take
mm,
this for analysis. Now, you have gone through my process of becoming a guest right from the
mhm,
beginning, like onboarding you, guiding you, making you fill out that lengthy form, which I did. Okay,
mhm,
so apart from so let's take, okay, step one. When I ask you to book
mhm,
using Calendly, so I could have used bookings,
mhm.
and you could have done the exact same thing. Would we have been able to achieve the exact same outcome if we would have used bookings and forms? The same thing which I did with the free ones.
From what I saw, yeah, how I've used bookings a few times for a previous client of mine, and yeah, it worked fine.
Okay, okay.
It,
I
it
think it's.
wasn't. It wasn't. I mean,
Uh huh.
Calendly isn't. It's not complicated, but neither is bookings.
Uh huh.
And I don't know if you don't. I mean, Calendly has there might be a free version of it, or
Yeah, I'm using the free version. I don't
um,
want to pay them any money.
yeah.
Yeah,
But if
I just need
sometimes
one
you don't
calendar.
get the functionality. Right? Yeah. hmm You don't always get the functionality that you want.
Yeah,
So.
I agree that if you want to send out like reminder
Mm,
emails or text messages, those are only available
mm,
with the paid option. If you ask me,
mm,
Sharon,
mm,
like I think the only reason why an average human being, when I say an average human being, like
mm,
somebody who uses computer and some of those applications for their day-to-day work, okay, it doesn't have any
mm.
complex tasks, would not end up going ahead with the Microsoft suite, because it's like a suite which you have to keep renewing every year. How much does it
Mhm.
cost a year roughly?
It depends on what package you have, but you can pay it monthly. As a business, you can pay for it yearly. It's up to you, and as a business, I think you get your discounts as to what you need to pay. It really depends on um, what you have.
So let's say if you go ahead with the whole 21 or 20 plus applications, the whole thing. Okay, we want the whole ecosystem. How much does that cost?
Mhm, mm.
Microsoft. I'm going to also Google this. Microsoft Office 365 ecosystem. Buy.
ecosystem.
Okay, I
You've
was
got
just.
you got your basic pack, your basic package, but then you've got your family package where you can share it with a couple of members of your family,
Mm-hmm.
um, and stuff like, with the business. You can. I remember was that years ago when I used to work at a law firm. You used to get a discount for staff if you went through Microsoft and purchased the application, but those days, and I'm going to show my age here. We used to get it on we used to get it on a CD, and we could purchase the application for our own home use. Um,
Okay.
but, yeah, but you got licenses depending on where you go for. You can get a license for
It's not.
up to
Okay.
five
So it's
users for
not
about
too
30 odd
expensive.
quid.
I think I found the
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
figures.
No,
It's $99,
no.
99, 90, 100
Mm,
bucks.
mm,
$100 US per year
mm-hmm.
is best value because you can share this with 2 to 6 people. That's not expensive. That's all
Yeah,
right.
and you can you also maybe 40 £40 for a license for say about 5 people, and you get a few terabytes of space with it.
Holy shit! It states that you can get about 6 terabytes of cloud storage. So if you have 6 individuals who are sharing that $100 fee, one
Right.
terabyte per person.
And terabyte is nothing. It's not. That's not mean, is it?
Yeah, now I
It's
understand
not mean.
why OneDrive
Yeah.
makes sense.
Right. You can share. So for the there's you can get this is Microsoft is not just for business, personally, it's family as well. So you can get a family package for like what, £80 ish a year, and with that you'll get your Word, your Excel, PowerPoint, um, OneNote. OneNote comes in it. It Outlook.
Outlook, yeah. I think in US it shows 69.99. So around $70 a year.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can opt for, even that you can opt for um doing it monthly. If you don't want to pay the yearly application, um you do it monthly, and then you've got the a personal one, which is again slightly different for that, where it's just for one person, but it will cost you about £60. So you've got to look at the ramifications of that, and the cost, your budget, as it were. For business, you can really go to town with that, because it can be what, about, I don't know, £9-10 a month per user.
Uh huh.
um, and you get the desktop version of the app, because with 365, what you've got to remember is sometimes, depending on the application, sorry, on the package you may only have the cloud version of it, but I think with the halfway through, how can I say, the middle to top packet, you'll get the desktop version of it as well, if you pay a little bit extra. Plus, as you said, your terabyte of cloud storage, and you get some security on there, and obviously you get support if you want support, and that kind of thing there.
Yeah, I personally thought it was expensive than this. So like hundred
More
bucks is
expensive than
yeah, $100 is cheap. Like, and I don't think it's too expensive. In fact, on the US Microsoft.us, Microsoft.com US, it shows
mm,
if you are a student, okay, you
mm,
can get it for $24 a year, like $2 a
right,
month. Shh,
right, absolutely.
that's even cheap. Like,
And you can use that. You see, you can access it on your laptop, on your phone, your iPad. You can use it all over the place. OneNote, particularly if you've got to make notes and stuff like that, you can synchronize that across your devices, so you can use it anywhere.
okay, I've been hearing about this OneNote thing from you for quite some time. Shannon, would you mind telling us
Oh, sorry.
what does this OneNote do? Like, is it just a note-taking application? Does it have any other purpose? Like, who is it used for? Like,
Okay, so one scenario that I was in, I was rolling out. Is we was rolling out. Windows 10 and some new laptops to some. I think this was in my legal days. So to some law firms and some legal eagles, and they hadn't heard about OneNote. We're showing them, Windows and all that kind of stuff, but then we told them about OneNote. And one of the things that we pulled out as a win that they would, definitely want to know about is how, by using OneNote, they could edit and mark up a PDF document. I couldn't believe the excitement on some of their faces when they found out that they could just bring in a document as a PDF into their OneNote screen, and they then would be able to use their. I think at the time they had what we call it a stylus pen, and they could actually write on that document on the screen, and they were there in their element. They loved it. They thought it was amazing. I think that was back before PDF allowed you to
sign the documents and stuff like that.
And stuff like that. Yeah, so they could mark up, put big red lines and circles around things, and say, no, I don't want this clause in, take this clause out, and that kind of stuff. So that there was they absolutely loved that. But also, if they were en route to a meeting and they want you to get some ideas, scribble some stuff down in their head, they would do so, or they could do so on their work mobile phones, because they didn't have Wi-Fi for the laptop or whatever reason. But when they got to their destination and they opened up their laptop, what they'd been working on their phone in OneNote would synchronize with their laptop, so they were able to open it up and say, look, this is what I've been working on in the hour that I've been on the train. What do you think about it?
That makes sense. I have okay, kind of a funny question. Okay, this is just in my head.
Yes, it is a glorified notebook. It is kind of a glorified notebook. yeah. So okay, it's not actual pen and paper, but it's got that concept. Go on.
Okay, so my question is, so I work with many corporate companies, before getting into business, and I've always noticed that they have like a pretty old gen Microsoft applications installed on their computer. And the entire organization uses that a little old and outdated version. They don't have the most latest one with them. Is there a reason why a company would not want to have the most updated Word, Excel, or 365? Why would they stick to an older version? What would be their motivation behind it? I just want to know personally, because it used to really suck because I was using the newer version and the old one did not really have that feature or those shortcuts. It used to exhaust me out. I had to unlearn and find the longer route. So what would be the reason why they stick around?
People would stay with the...
Yeah.
I can't understand why there would be a reason. The only thing I would say was comfortability. They're comfortable with what they... what they're using. They're comfortable with what they're using. Apologies for that. I thought that was on silent. They don't want to change for anything else. However, they're losing out on the functionality of what they can do. With that stuff. I mean, if they're afraid of learning something new, don't be. Ask someone to show you, and there's always a benefit to learning. That's how I think about learning. I'm always learning things. There's always a benefit to learning. So learn. Let someone give you some information.
I am guessing. Okay, this is just my personal guess. Okay. I'm guessing they want to save on server space and they want to keep the computer working at an optimum speed. And they don't want these background applications to either reduce the internet consumption to perform a certain task. Maybe that could be one of the reason why they may use
Yeah.
a light version, not like the high end one, not the one which takes like a gig to install and start up, stuff like that. It's just
I
my
hear that.
could be.
Yeah. I hear that. I get it. I get it. I understand. Mm.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, so I want to actually speak about Yammer or Yammer. I don't know the exact pronunciation, but I came to know while I was prepping up for this interview, while I was accumulating information which I can ask you. So I believe that Microsoft has something called as Yammer or Yammer. It's one of
Mm-hmm.
a social networking style
Mm-hmm.
thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
could first of all, would you mind helping us understand what is this application for? What does it do, and how does it help in connecting people in the modern workplace, helping them with better communication and collaboration?
Um. Well, so yeah, Yam is like your internal Facebook, um, Facebook, Twitter, in there, in within your organization. It's inside. It's secure because people can't. Well, I hope not. Not that I've seen that people can't clone your account like your Facebook. They can, um, you know, clone your account, and as happened to me and a couple of friends of mine on Instagram, that accounts have
Okay, so
been
all are verified
cloned.
accounts, like with Yammer.
Yeah, it's
You
secure.
you will by default get the blue check, blue tick.
Yeah. So and it's a way of different teams to communicate with each other, share information with each other, within their team. So different departments can have their own Yammer page, and they can share information of what's going on internally for them, and things like that. So I think it's a nice thing to have, and it's a good way of engaging with other team members, because sometimes your team might be a small group. It might quite well be a big group, as in it's overseas, it's international, it's global. So connecting with your colleagues in an international setting, in a global setting, can be quite difficult. But having Yammer at your fingertips, I think, is a nice thing to have. Mm.
I like the fact that your organization can have its own social media, so Microsoft makes that happen. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay,
Mm,
you can share and send pictures and memes. Is it like
mm, mm,
you do it
mm,
on
mm.
others? Okay, so that's really cool.
Yeah. The one thing I will say though is that Microsoft has this, they rename things. So I think Yammer might be picking up, or has picked up, a new name called
Oh, is it Flow?
Viva Engage.
Wow, they should really
I
work on the
know.
naming part. I'm just saying, like, why would you name something like Yammer? Hey, are you been on Yammer?
Yeah,
I yammed you.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from. I never did ask the question, I have to say. But yeah, I think I suspect they've renamed it. Flow is another one that I've heard of, um, which they've is a new name for something, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard
I
about
can't keep
Flow. I
up.
have
I'm
no
trying to
idea what
keep
it
up with
does.
it.
Like, I've been hearing all these application names for the first time. To be quite honest with you.
Mm,
Okay, let
mm-hmm,
me let me ask you, Sharon. Like,
mm,
so let's assume that you have helped an organization transition. Okay,
mm-hmm,
to Microsoft
mm-hmm,
based applications. Now, the organization might expect to do something out of these applications, like these suites. Okay, let's take by
mm-hmm,
Word. They may have something which they want to achieve. Let's take Excel. They may want to achieve something out of it. Do you
mm-hmm,
help them to create those systematics or SOPs in place, or do you help them to understand how to use the application to achieve it? Like, for example, would you end up creating
mm-hmm,
sheets, spreadsheets? would you design all of these things based on their needs while you're helping clients transition?
Yeah, that's part of my role, is to keep myself up to date with
Uh-huh.
what's changing, with the knowledge that I have of my clients. Because if I'd had a conversation, I'd help them to transition at the first hurdle. They've gone on to the Microsoft suite, and they've been using that for a little while. Um, and we've had a conversation since then to say, well, look, they'd like to um, upgrade, and what would my recommendations be? Again, I'd have to have a conversation. What exactly are you looking to do? Or I may say, I've seen this improvement or this change to an application that you're using, and I think it might be beneficial to you. But that's me keeping in touch and in contact with my client. I know where they've been, I know where they're coming from, and I have an idea of where they're going to. But touching base
Mm.
with my clients all the time, and knowing, or being aware of what they may need, is very important.
Okay.
It is, it
Okay.
is, it's very important.
So for an example,
Mm.
let's say that they have, okay, let's say an organization has a big dump of data,
Mm-hmm.
and you speak with the IT person or whoever is in charge, the head, and these guys
Mm-hmm.
want to transition to Microsoft, okay, and they are bringing this
Mm-hmm.
dump along with them, okay, this huge amount of data. So
They've
what you
got
would do
yeah,
is,
so it's
uh,
pure
uh
data. They want to make sure, right? Okay, okay.
yeah, so and
Mm-hmm.
and 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 their expectation is that we want to utilize this data, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to, let's say, formulate something and figure something out. So while you
Mm-hmm.
help organizations to transition from regular apps or basic apps or another
Mm-hmm.
ecosystem completely to Microsoft, but you would also
Mm-hmm.
help them and train them how to end up using that data to achieve that outcome. You will guide them. There might be trainings which will be done from your end. Maybe you will
Mm.
work on that spreadsheet in a way that you have to enter these values here or paste it. Okay, I'm talking about Excel formulas, stuff like that. It gives
Mm-hmm.
you automated graphs and stuff like that. So you do kind of help them with those kind of things as well, right?
Yeah. Well, what we do is what we call it, training needs analysis, or maybe a change impact assessment. What training are we looking at that's going to be needed? Or where, if there is a change, what impact is it going to have on people? So there are two different approaches to that. So depending on what has been identified, some people may need both of those, and some may only need to use one of them. But you do need to document what's going on at the moment and what needs to be going on after that. And we'll also look at, of course, if you've been using a legacy system for a long time, you might have a lot of data on there which is out of date and you don't need anymore. So do you really need to bring all of that across to the new system to overload it before you've even started using it? That doesn't make sense. So we'll have a conversation about what data you're bringing across and if you need it. So to do a bit of a data cleanse exercise prior to that.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, I just realized, we exceeded the
Oh,
45-minute mark. All
oh my
right,
gosh! There,
guys.
and Rohit.
Whew.
Rohit's got his hand up.
Yeah.
Ah, sorry, Rohit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is we would be starting Q&A after taking a quick break. I'm gonna play
Mhm.
some song. You can listen to that song. In the meantime, if anybody is interested in coming up, asking questions about Office 365, anything within the specifics of Office 365, any specific app you want to know about, or if you are an organization who wants to transition to Microsoft Office 365, and if you have like a personal question, something which you like to ask in general, please do not hesitate to raise your hand. I will be happy to bring you up and we can go ahead and assist you in answering those questions. So let's take a quick break. I'm thirsty.
Mhm.
I want to drink some water. I'm sure you also feel thirsty. Let's grab some drinks
Yeah, I do.
and pause
Yeah.
for a while, okay? All right, all right.
Mhm.
Let's take a break.
Mhm.
Hey, you know what I came to do? I feel like I'm made for you. Feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like. Hey, you know what I came to do? I feel like I'm made for you. Feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like. Yo, it's like this. Hey, yo, you be my peace, keep me going off the deep end. Looking forward to every part of you like the weekend. Used to have a man, but he was disrespectful. Never met your needs and he made you feel neglectful. Everything's materialistic and yeah, that's probably fine. But what good is everything? It's a quality time. You my favorite instrumental, I'm the version. On the weekend we don't keep it distant like a work friend. Keep me on the right track, listen, I'll be right back. Shorty said she like that, yeah I know she like that. See, I believe in soulmates, they say they know me well. I've been loving you for centuries to show and tell. I know that you can tell and listen, use my one and only. Got you a personal shopper, yeah, shout out to Tony. And we gon' keep it moving, listen, we gon' be forever. I just look up in your eyes and I see forever. You know what I came to do? I feel like I'm made for you. Feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like. Hey, you know what I came to do?
Let me ask you some extended questions since we don't have too many people on stage. Okay, when I was reading your bio, you did mention one of your biggest influence and inspiration in your life, Sharon, has been your family and Mildred. Okay, would you mind sharing, like, why, what has your family done to inspire you and influence you, and what has Mildred done specifically to help you out? And guys, if you're wondering who Mildred is actually a common friend of ours. Okay, she's actually the one who recommended Sharon for this interview. Okay, if you want to know more about her, you should be able to find her beautiful picture and her bio or her profile link under the event comments. Go ahead, Sharon.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my family first. My children, I have 2 daughters, and I have 2 grandchildren, and they look up to me, and they are the people that keep me grounded, and the people that let me know that, you know, whatever I'm doing, and they have no judgment, I'm doing for the right reasons, whether it's for myself, you know, whether it's for them. But I'm a very I don't say but, however, I'm a very giving person, and I love sharing knowledge and information. And whenever I can do it, even if people don't want to hear me, I'm going to give you some information because I want to share something with you. And whatever I do with this podcast today, with what I want to do in my business, my family are always there to support me. Both close families, I said my daughters, my sister, but also my extended family who live overseas. You know, if ever I'm posting on LinkedIn or I've posted something on Instagram or wherever, they will always comment and support. So I know they have that, and I know I can go to them and talk to them. You know, if I have any questions to ask about, why I'm doing what I'm doing, is am I doing it right, and things like that. And they're always there to support me. So yeah, they are my biggest my biggest fans, I think, my biggest influences. Before I get on to Mildred, I also have to say that recently I have widened my network of other businesses and networks and or PR people, marketing, branding people, and all of them. And some of them are on the call today, and some are not, but they know that I have reached out. I'm not a person that asks for help a lot, but I've reached out, and they have supported me and given me all the advice that I asked for. And when I do, and I 120% thank them for that. 120%. Now, getting on to our Mildred, Miss Mildred Talabi, the young lady who introduced Jaison and I. We met on LinkedIn, funnily enough, and she taught me a lot of what I know and what I am doing on LinkedIn, and for that I thank Mildred. So if you want to get in touch with her, she's an amazing coach, absolutely amazing. Yeah, so you can find her on LinkedIn. And we're also introduced to her her husband, who is an amazing storyteller. So if you want to know how to tell a story, ask Mildred's husband. Yeah.
That is super cool. I appreciate you sharing that.
Mhm.
And I like the
You're
fact that
welcome.
your children, grandchildren are your biggest fan. Your family supporting you is, it feels so damn good. Just to have them support you.
Yeah.
It just feels
Yeah.
just amazing. So if you
It
want to,
is.
what kind of, what is that
Mm.
one thing you want to be remembered for, Sharon?
The the one thing I would.
Yeah, like let's say,
Okay.
something happens to you, you're no more, like what do you want the world
To
to say about you?
remember me.
Yeah, for would,
Th-
yeah, go ahead.
Some something really simple that I made you smile. Um, it's not about, yeah. I make training fun. I'm trying to make IT. Well, I think I make IT. A little bit more interesting than it normally is. I have to say that because IT can be a boring topic. Let's not beat about the bush here. But I try to make learning fun and exciting. And my one of my mantras is, if you're not having a little bit of fun, you're not going to remember what I've been talking about, what information I'm trying to give to you. So enjoy what you're learning, and you'll get more about it. You'll remember stuff. That's it. You remember things there. Hmm.
That is so cool. Rather than seeing that,
Hmm.
rather than saying that, I want to be remembered for the Microsoft Office 365 training expert, you decided to stick with, you know, did I make you smile?
I'm,
That
did I
is
make you smile? Well, come on, you smile at someone. You wake up in the morning, you go out and you get your coffee. Or you see someone in the street and you smile at them, and they smile back at you. That's For me. That's a very good start for the day.
absolutely. I love you for saying that. Thank you so. Let's actually do the rapid fire round. And this time I have something interesting lined up for rapid fire. So let me actually play the
Hmm.
sound effect first of all. All right. Now, usually on rapid fire questions, I end up asking some funny questions so that you can get to know my guest a lot more. Okay. This time I decided to do something different. Okay. So in my head, when I was actually trying to make these rapid fire questions, I was like, let's take the most two common applications which Microsoft has. Okay, the first one which came into my mind was Microsoft Word. The second one which came into my mind was Microsoft Excel. Okay, now I said to myself, okay, if if Microsoft Word and Excel got into like this rap battle thing, what would happen? Okay, so it was just an idea. So I start brainstorming on it. So what I decided to do was I decided to reach out to my good friend whom you see down in the audience, Phyllis. Okay, and I spoke to Phyllis. I was like, I have this idea. I have a few bars written down. Okay, what do you think? Okay, so we ended up doing something really, really cool and interesting. So I'm going to actually play a pre recorded rap battle between Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word. Okay, so be ready for this epic battle. Microsoft Word is being represented by my very good friend Phyllis Williams Stroder, whom you see down in the audience. Okay, the wordsmith supreme. And Microsoft Excel is being represented by Phyllis' daughter Morgan Williams Stroder, the number cruncher. Being the Excel number cruncher. So let's actually hear those tracks, and you guys can actually vote for us online right now on this conversation and tell us which one you like the most. Okay, Phyllis, I would encourage you to please come on stage because we would definitely need you and a few giggles while we do this thing. So please raise your hand. I would be happy to bring you up while I play the recording. Okay, guys, hear this out.
Yo, I'm Microsoft Word, the wordsmith supreme with sleek fonts and style. I'm the writer's dream. I'm the master of docs, the queen of type. My formatting game is always on hypes, cause in every writing battle I make pages fall. Precision and excellence is how I ball. From memos to essays to scripts for short, got your grammar on lock and your columns on. So step back, Excel, you can't compete with me. I'm the baddest word player that could ever be. With spell check and grammar, I'm never wrong. And in this rap game, I wrote a better song. Yes.
Hey yo, it's Microsoft Excel. I'm the number cruncher and I slice through data like I'm a true hustler. Spreadsheets and formulas, that's my domain. With pivot tables and charts, you know I reign. I calculate with ease, yeah, that's no doubt. From your bands to your stats, you know I get my clout. Analyzing all the trends, that's my claim to fame. In the data-driven world, yeah, I own the game. Word, you got style, I won't deny. But in this rap battle, I'll amplify. Data insights, I'll stand up and take the lead. Excel's the king, cause I got what you need.
Amazing, Phyllis, I have to say, and your daughter Morgan, thank you so much. You have no idea how I feel at the moment. I am elated. That was amazing, Jason. Thank you for coming up with that.
Yeah, I think it was a nice idea. Okay, let's actually hear people vote. Personally, I like both of them and the way they rap. Both of them have their unique style. So, Excel and Word, both of them win according to me. But if you ask me to choose my favorite, I would definitely hands on go with Phyllis because she is a rock star to me. So for me, Phyllis is the winner. If you're interested in getting like an audio clip of this, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I have the lyrics. The lyrics were fine tuned by Phyllis and her daughter. So please reach out to me. I would be happy to share it. When you do share this on social media, I would highly, highly encourage you to please tag Sharon because this is her show. And please do not forget to tag Phyllis as well as her daughter because you need to give credit to those individuals who worked hard. Now, before we wrap up today's session, okay, I want to give you the opportunity to, promote your business. Tell us what do you offer as a business owner. I think your company name is sgwebcrafts.co.uk. The company website and other social handles are being listed on the event details and even on the event description. If you do want to reach out to Sharon, I would highly encourage you to do that. So, is there anything you'd like to promote on my show, Sharon, about your company and what you aim to do and how you can help people out?
Yeah, I'd just say, reach out to me if you want someone to talk to, a human being, and not one human being to another human being about what you want to do with your company. Then just reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can go to my website, which is www.sgwebcraft.co.uk. As Jason said, the information's all there on the link that was sent out. To have a conversation with me, a 30-minute conversation, is not going to cost you anything. So just come and talk to me and let's see if I can help you. That's personally, I don't need to sell you anything.
I think, Sharon, you also do help in training. First of all, learning the software by yourself and also creating training courses or materials which they can as an organization can share with their team members so that they can
Yeah.
train them about this application. You also do that. So this is outside Microsoft, but that is also something which you do, correct?
Yeah. So you're talking, paper guides. We're talking, videos as well as the actual training sessions. But all of those will be bespoke to, the organization or the individual that requires the service. Yeah.
I kind of, asked Sharon this question the first time I did this pre-call with her. I was like, Sharon, why would people pay you X amount of dollars when they can actually learn this stuff for free online on YouTube? Like, why would they hire you, pay this fees to train you? And the answer was pretty simple. And Sharon, correct me if I'm saying it wrong. And she was like, bespoke service, because you would not be able to find stuff easily which is very, very relevant to your needs. And that's where I come into place. I help you to make this very bespoke, up to your organization, your goals, and customize it in a way that fully benefits you. And that's why I come into the equation. You don't get this information easily online. Am I right saying? Am I using the right word, Sharon, to present what you just said? Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, 100%. It's not out. What I do is not out there. I mean, I can do what's out there, but that doesn't benefit the client, and it doesn't excite me. I like to, break things apart, make them, why they're working like that. No, I don't want it to work like that. I want to use it like this. So that's what I'm about. So yeah, no, it's not, what I do is not on YouTube or anywhere like that.
That is super cool. If you could leave my listeners with one thing they can take away from this whole conversation, what would that be?
You're never too old to learn. And in addition to that, you're never too old to learn. You're never too old to learn from anyone of any age. So don't think that because someone is, years younger than you or years older than you, they don't know, they don't understand. I'm learning from my grandchildren and other children all the time. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a really cool lesson. But keep your ego aside, keep your attitude aside. Even if you have an attitude, have a positive attitude. And learning, it's a never-ending process. You learn from people,
100%.
Younger, older, whoever it is. But if it's knowledge, what's the harm? So let's actually move ahead and let's wrap this conversation for today. To reach out to me, I do have a mailing list. So if you want to get regular updates about my upcoming shows, DM me the word newsletter, and I should be able to add you to that mailing list. I don't spam. I don't send out too many emails. Just details about my show or maybe some of the services which are ongoing with my business. That's about it. Nothing major. Okay. Do you have anything else you like to share with my audience, Sharon, before we say goodbye to one another?
I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who has attended and is still listening to me. I really, really appreciate you doing that. And once again, thank you to my crew, Phyllis and Morgan, for doing those raps. I'm gonna need to patent that because I need to use it when I'm training any of those sessions.
I think she has to get paid.
Just run it.
Phyllis will be like, bring me the moolah.
I knew you first, Mildred. I got your autograph first, okay, Phyllis, and I know you first, so I'm at the front of the line. But no, really, thank you, Jaison, for putting this together. Thank you for everyone for taking part. Those who asked questions. Rahit, nice to see you and speak to you again. I appreciate it.
No worries. All right, catch up soon. All the best, everyone. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourself. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're in the world. Thank you so much for the heart emojis. Take care of yourself. Have an amazing day.
You too. Bye.